Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 39th annual BullShooter finale live here in Chicago, Illinois for the International Challenge. I'm Sean Green, joined once again by my partner in comms, Mr. Good Stuff himself, Gordon Dixon. Gordon, I am so excited to be streaming this event for the first time. I've watched it every year. It is a lot of fun to see these international competitors, especially from a country like Poland, who are here for the very first time.
Yes, and it also needs to be said, all of these teams, there was an opportunity to qualify to come over here, and that's how we got Team Poland, which is super cool that it's affiliated with the European BullShooter.
Yeah, absolutely. And they went to Seville, Spain. There was 14 different teams, and Poland got the job done. And they did a little, not switcheroonie or anything like that, but Camille, our, I don't know, favorite player in the world.
I'm a Camille fan.
I'm a huge Camille fan. I need that autograph. So he ended up kind of switching in on the Poland team, taking Wojciech Poliński's spot.
Oh, wait, he was the one that wasn't originally on the team?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
As soon as I say,
I feel like that was a mistake from the Polish team to begin with.
oh, absolutely. But this is Wojciech, so never mind. I just got wrong information from our producer. And you can tell which one.
Wojciech, the captain of the Polish team.
Yes. And that makes perfect sense. I got to meet Miss Anna Marie, who's shooting right there, our only female competitor in this, which I absolutely love. But Anna Marie was an absolute sweetheart. She's been here for the last couple years. She trades things back and forth with one of the American players. It's a really fun time. Darren Auckland. So they just go back and forth of just trading knickknacks every year when they see each other.
Yeah, the Denmark team, I keep trying to remember how many times I've been a part of the event. I think it goes back to 18, and I can't remember a single time that Denmark wasn't a part of this event. With a lot of the same faces that we see today.
Well, look at this. There is Mr. Camille getting the shot. And you know what's interesting is he was wearing his own jersey when he walked in with the international team. I don't know if you guys noticed that in the parade, but now his little switcheroo, he put on a jersey of his own. So who was sick? That being said, he flew over here. He was like, hey, man, you want us to win or not?
Give me that jersey.
Yeah, so looking at the format here, how it's going to work, it is a round robin. Play all three legs. It's exact same format that we saw with the Monsters of the Midway on Thursday for those that watched along with us in that event. Double in, double out, split bowl. Stacked freeze is really what it is, and bullseye. Oh, had a shot there in leg number 2. But the order of how it's going to play is they play each round. 5 teams. So Belgium and Spain are playing out there on board 94. Denmark and Poland are playing in here just to give them extra space. I kind of like that idea. And the U.S. are on a bye in round 1. And then it goes round 2. We will see on our bullpen board, it will be Poland versus Belgium, which it is Belgium's first time here as well, I believe. Spain and the U.S. are going to take place on board number 94, and then Denmark, it's the bye. In round 3, we're going to get the U.S. versus the Polish team, which that's going to be fun to watch, Gordon. Going to be really fun to watch. And then Belgium, Denmark with Spain on the bye. Round 4, we also will get the Denmark-U.S. team on our bullpen board. Poland, Spain out there, and then Belgium on the bye. And in case everyone has been writing this down from scratch, you know that round 5 has to be on the feature board. Spain versus Denmark and the U.S. versus Belgium with Poland on the bye. And, yes, I realize my own ridiculousness of reading all of that out, Gordon. And Spain just won that 3-0 in their side of it.
Spain going to be another one to watch. We Saw quite a few in the Pro AA. Camille taking out the 8 for a 2-0 lead in this one.
Yeah, to tell you just how Camille feels about and how confident he is playing soft tip darts. He came over to get flew over to Poland to get his games in that day, and he said he's a steel tip player, and he goes, as soon as I saw those triples, oh man. He goes, this is so much fun. And he was spot on though. He said exactly what all of us say when we have been doing this for a while, and he's brand new to soft tip, right? And it's a game of who is going to miss, not who is going to hit. And he goes, it's stressful, it's fun, and man, is it fun to see all these triples go in.
Well, and I think that's why you saw such a big pushback on the 13-inch board. But I mean, as far as Europe's concerned, that's the board that everyone likes playing on over there. But it sounds like this event was held on the 15-inch board because I think they knew it was qualifying for a 15-inch board event.
Yeah, a lot of soft tip darts that are over in Europe and the areas that they do exist is usually on that 13-incher. Yep. And here's Denmark. That actually is Rasmus Peterson, who just shot there in the third hole for the team. And I'm telling you right now, the team of Wojciech right here with Camille going first is a crazy good combination. I know I've seen Wojciech in previous tournaments that
he does look familiar.
Yeah, that I think were on bigger stages.
Well, yeah, so many options for them across the pond on the steel tip side.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that Camille plays county darts
in Ireland.
So, yeah, right there's I mean, the county players are no slouches.
Yeah, he averages high 80s, he said, and he's gone to Q school a couple times. So,
yeah,
shockers, right? No,
yeah,
not at all.
That's that'll get it done. And also why his confidence in this game has to be so high.
And speak of the devil, and he shall arrive. Here is Camille. He started off perfect with the 160 in.
Gotta acknowledge the 160s in.
The entire time. Gotta make sure to make that a point every time. We did that for Dave Cameron, so it's fair that we do it for everybody else. We did actually keep track of that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it was
pretty impressive.
Pretty absurd.
We appreciate everybody joining us from overseas, watching your international players play. Denmark versus Poland right here in round number 1. And, man, I'm telling you what, if our man Sam is out there as a betting man, there's only one team he hyped up the entire parade, and he hyped them up real hard, and that was that Polish team. And I got to be honest, if I was Sam, I'm probably doing the exact same thing because we all have eyes. We've seen how talented this team can be. Who wins this international competition, Gordon?
Ooh. Honestly, let's start with who's going to be the top 2.
Okay.
I haven't seen everyone play yet. We're getting a look at Poland, who we tipped was going to be one of the favorites.
Yep.
I don't think we can take a whole lot from the Spanish result because I think they were playing one of the weaker teams.
Belgium. Yep.
To start.
Because this is the first time here, right?
Yep.
It'll take a little bit of time.
So I'm going to tip the USA and Spain. I'm going to leave Poland out.
Okay. I like that.
That's as aggressive as I can be right now.
I'm going to say something that I don't know if I should
say it. Say it. I mean, after your performance yesterday.
Do it. Do it now. The way that Philly has played at times, the way that Ram really hasn't done much so far this entire weekend. You know who has? The Spanish team and the Polish team of their players, as Camille, of course, takes it out to win that one. So 3-0 victory for Poland. I think Poland and Spain get across the line.
Oh, dang. I'm supposed to be the offensive one.
There's nothing offensive about
You
having
just
a
left out the
logical-
home team?
after having a logical opinion.
Chat, get him. Tag him on Facebook.
Listen,
Write posts.
I get paid this massive contract to make logical decisions and not just decisions for my friends like you just did.
Friends? I don't like any of those people.
All right, guys. Ridiculous. While we are looking at all of that and getting set up for this next match, let us know in the chat who gets through. 2 teams out of the 5. Spain up 3-0, and then Poland 3-0 over Denmark and Belgium. The U.S. team is going to get started here, and based on what I just said, they have to get off to a very strong start. I also think I just cheated and picked the first 2 teams that won 3-0 to start off the event and just went with that.
Oh, that's very true.
I just don't know how many times it's going to happen.
3-0 in this format is I mean, it's kind of lucky because all you have to do is have 2 players that go first, and if you're going to lose 3-0, you're going to go first. You could go first in all 3 legs.
Right.
And all they got to do is put together probably one 15-darter.
Yeah.
And they're home and host. So
and listen, I got to be honest, I don't know how the Polish team with Wojciech and Camille on the same scoreline as the number 1 player, I don't know how that duo doesn't outlast the majority of any other first duo. Ram and Mike, if they're on that scoreline, I think is kind of a similarity there.
I do want to go back to one thing in your objective
Terrible
breakdown of
yeah.
why the home team isn't going to make it to the final. I thought Philly played really good in spots yesterday.
He did
in
yesterday.
The Pro-Am.
He absolutely did yesterday. That is 100%
Pro-Am.
correct.
The Pro luck.
He did. It was a different Philly that we saw from the first night, for sure. But I know for a fact, after talking to a couple of these guys, that they're a little bit nervous playing for Team USA. And they are going up in this first round against, because everyone wrote it down. Can you guys just let me know? Because I already forgot. I know everybody wrote it down.
Yeah, you read it
going up
into
against
the record.
This is actually a big start for the U.S. They're taking on the Spanish team. If they win that, even if it's 2-1, that might change my prediction, right? Not in like
you mean after you have more information?
No. It makes it more likely for the U.S. team to be able to get the job done. But if the Spanish team defeats the U.S. here in this first round, with U.S. on the bye in the previous one, I just think they're at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah,
Poland's about to be up 6-0. Most likely, if
Poland's probably going to have a 6-0. You're right.
But for that means that their next 2 rounds are the ones that matter for them.
But then again, I mean, this will be our first look at Belgium, and that's why I said there's a little bit of luck involved in this.
Yep.
Because if the starting Belgian duo reel off one 15-darter, they just won 33% more legs than they did against Spain.
Right. And we honestly have not seen the Belgians throw yet. We do have the greatest name of all time on this Belgian side, Thierry Johan.
Oh, well, Thierry and Johan, my next-born child's name.
Thierry and Johan Dixon.
Yes. Is an incredible name.
All right, we're going to take a short break. It looks like they were about to get ready, and then they didn't. So we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with that next matchup, Poland versus Belgium, right after this. We are back for round number 2 of this international challenge, live at the 39th annual BullShooter finale in Chicago, Illinois. I'm Sean Green, joined by good stuff Gordon Dixon. And Gordon, our first look at the team from Belgium taking on the Polish powerhouse that we saw in the last round, win 3-0.
Yeah, this could really set the tone for this round robin section. If Poland can go 3-0, 3-0, and start off with 2 perfect matches. But as we alluded to, it's going to be difficult since it is loser goes first format. So they're always going to have to fade a really good leg from those top 2 players.
Yeah, absolutely. Do want to talk about this format here, right? It is you play all 3 legs here in this round robin. It does say race to 2 on our score line, but it is play all 3 legs. That being said, each team will play each other one time in this round robin, and the top 2 teams will move on to play each other in the actual final. And 5 teams to make it to it, so you got to be in the top 40% in the differential.
And I just want to remind the American viewers that Sean has picked America to be left out of that final.
I did.
I chose America and Spain.
Yep, picked his friends. He hung out with the Spanish team last night to make sure he could pick them. It was the fact that 2 of them do look like Office Space characters. That being said, I have them finishing in 3rd.
Yeah, I had to brush up on my Spanish yesterday for the dinner. It was rough, but we got through it. And there we have Camille, the man that we were planning to watch out for. A little bit of a slow start with only 40 to start, but follows up big there.
Added a 1 in front of that number. But a nice follow. I like that throw.
I like that throw too. And again, I know Spain just blanked them, but Belgium's starting duo is exactly what I was saying is gonna make that a little lucky. But it also may be, now that I'm kind of talking through this, the 3-4 players may be the freeze rule may be coming into play.
I have a devastating thing to tell you, Gordon.
Oh, my.
His name is Johan Therian, not Therian Johan.
Stop.
I actually
change it.
I feel like the reverse is not as good.
It's not. It's not.
But you don't mess with the Johan, but still.
My 4th child, excuse me, will not be named Johan Therian.
It'll be Therian Johan. And you got to understand, you have a family middle name that you usually pass down, so you're actually skipped over that just for a Johan middle name. And the Matt didn't math there on that last start. Should have set up a checkout. Didn't do so. So they're on a bogey, which means that that's okay. It's going to be it's just Camille coming up with 126 left. It's not even going to take that out automatically.
Not like he's definitely going to get a shot at it.
He will get a shot at the double of some kind if he wants to take a shot at it. And here comes Camille. Sponsored by a few companies. Oh, he does not get a look at it. We're going to call that a commentator's jinx, so it definitely wasn't his talent. But the 46 could be a confident shot for Wojciech when he comes back.
We will see if he gets a whack at it. It all depends on this throw here. Might be an opportunity to freeze.
Always an important thing to point out.
Looking to be pretty safe after that first start.
definitely safe after the second one.
Yeah, even a 180 will not do it.
Here is Therian. I like his throw. I like the simplicity of it. N6 wire or 14 for double 16 are the options here for Wojciech. 6 for tops. And Wojciech takes it out in 2 confidently.
Oh, yeah, he's just strutting up to the board to grab his darts.
And really, it wasn't a surprise for anyone when he hit that. 1-0 lead for Poland. As you see the Polish flag bearer doing his job nicely. Maybe Camille and him traded those spots.
And there's a poor start.
Yeah, and especially from what we talked about, that first spot, I don't foresee that happening here. It doesn't. But that's kind of a gift from Camille. It will allow the first spot to be able to do something. But Darian going first in the 2-hole for the Belgian team. Again, I'm just gonna avoid his first name.
Yeah, not the start he would have been looking for, but is away. A good start here as well, straight away.
And 93 scored. And for Mikael, he needed to make sure he got in there, and he does that. I guess it's Michelle.
He's got Mitch on his shirt.
It's Michelle.
Yeah, but would they call him?
I mean, that's his last. It might not be. It might be. They're all his first name, so it's going to be Michael. They just wrote him backwards. So it's Jean-Pierre, which makes sense. Backwards. These names are awesome, though.
Yeah.
Like, really, they are. The U.S. did win 2-1 in that second round. So exactly what I said earlier, it does put them in a better spot to qualify through. That's one of the big matches that you have to win, the other one being the Polish match. And quite frankly, you also just can't get 3-0'd against any team and expect to move on in this.
Yeah, 3-0 is going to hurt. A little struggle to start, but does find a treble. Here comes Camille. Going to take advantage of that slow start from the Belgian team here. There, 2 big trebles. I love it. He's ringing the bell.
He likes to ring that
in
bell.
the middle of the round robin. You can see what it means to him.
You know what? Honestly, though, that's the great part of this international challenge is these players are getting an opportunity to represent their country in the United States and play for that national pride. And the way Sam mentioned, Poland's been playing soft-tip darts for about 2 years as a country where, like, it's been kind of a consistent thing for them. So really cool to, in 2 years, be at this level doing this. And I guarantee you the double-in, double-out split bowl format really helps these international players.
So after a pretty good leg from the Belgian team from both scores.
Yeah.
Just beaten by the Polish team that went first. We see a big drop-off in the second leg where they get to go first.
I think Camille's going to
just
try
not
it
at the races.
I think Camille should try this for the fans.
He absolutely should.
I don't think there's going to be any harm in it. Here's Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, the only thing that could go wrong is, what, international relations?
I don't know if they're going to fight each other. These two countries usually don't get involved unless they're forced to.
I was going to say, two.
In any type of
There's been a couple of world wars where.
Well, but that
I
wasn't
think
their
these
fault.
guys-
They were just happened to be next door to these areas. All right. Come on, Camille. Little bullseye action for fun.
Come on, for the fans.
He's not going to do it that way. He's way too focused on this. Yeah.
Don't start on the 1-1 either.
Usually that's not an ideal start. We got asked earlier about the neighbors up north. And, well, it was really hard to travel that distance to be here for the team from Canada. And while there were technically exactly 4 Canadians here, that's one of those situations where you just
2 of them don't like the other 2.
Right,
It's
right.
just really tough to get them all in the same room.
100%. And we couldn't use a proper sorry, so they didn't allow us to do it. Poland and Wojciech going to take a 2-0 lead here. Rep 17 for double 8. Whoop. He almost went bull.
I think that's exactly what happened. Uh-oh, the Canadians hurt us.
Just the one that likes us.
Oh, yeah.
So that's fine. That's why it says, hey, now. That's actually, she cursed us out just then.
Nah, Trish gets a little more aggressive than that.
That's fair. All right, the 1-6-1 left for Belgium, but they are both frozen. And that one goes. Great dart for Tom, and that's a 2-0 lead now for Poland.
Started up, and Belgium will get us started again.
And a good opening there for Leo.
We have 5 teams this year. Just a reminder, we're watching Poland and Belgium. USA and Spain played. USA winning 2-1. And Denmark was odd man out in this round of the round robin.
Yeah, so Denmark gets their bye. Each team gets a bye in the round. What's the advantage? Is it getting the bye in the first round? Is it getting the bye in the last round? Is it just does not matter at all? What do you think, Gordon?
I mean, I think first or last round is probably ideal. But I think it also depends on how you're feeling and how you're playing. Because if you get wrecked round 1,
right?
Maybe you want, oh, you know what? Maybe I do need to go get some aim and juice.
Yeah.
Sit down, relax. But no, I think just without that variable in there, round 1 or 5 would be it. 5 would be a little bit tougher because then you'd probably know where you were and you'd be able to go watch either whether or not you were going to make it or who the second team was going to be.
That is the Polish team in this, and I just really hope that they just go over and just try to yell every time the opponents are showing that they want to lose.
Well, in USA's a little aggressive here because back-to-back rounds, they play the 2 teams that are in the running. I think.
Yeah.
So they just played the Spanish team and they play the Polish team next on our screen. By the way,
Yeah, absolutely. Which actually be the 3rd match in a row for Poland to be on our pit board, which is honestly great. As Camille points at the 1-3-5 that time. He has different celebrations for each time that he hits something big. and I am here for all of them. And Therian only 76 scored.
Now Belgium is doing a little bit better job maintaining that that lead this time. See if they can do that over the next 12 darts as well. Oh, look at this. See, this is...
Yep. They got out, and now they're doing their thing.
Yeah. 3 legs with the loser going first. Very tough to sweep in this format.
I do have to say, I do love that the flag bearer is holding the flag up the entire time. It's kind of impressive. I would... Not that heavy, but still. My arms can't do that.
And again, it leaves a bogey, but what I was worried about was even if the Belgian #1 team came down, that they may be frozen. But all 8 of these players doing a very good job.
And Tom not able to really do a whole lot there. This can go.
Leo, 2 darts, 98. Does leave it handy.
Perfect.
About to snatch a leg away from the Polish team.
Which is huge, honestly. Not necessarily for the Belgian team. They are only going to have 1 win out of the first 2.
No, it's
matches.
Implications for the Polish team.
Absolutely. Yeah. Here is Therian. And not bad for the supposed to be rightful heir to the 7 kingdoms.
Therian is actually the god of war in Belgium.
Oh, nice. That's actually really awesome.
That's not true, but
it is now.
Spoke it into a microphone.
I would expect Therian to be most people's favorite character in Game of Thrones. All right, let's see if Mitchie can take this out. And yes, I made up the name Mitchie. He does.
Go on.
That away, Mick. And Belgium does get a leg on the board, stopping the 6-0 start that I assumed for Poland, as you know what assumptions make us. So that'll do it, as they decide they're just going to play some more. Let's do that. Let's have some fun. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break for Gordon and I. Stay with us, as that Polish team will be facing their toughest test yet, and that is the U.S. side. I'm expecting a absolute banger of 3 legs. Who do you have in that one, guys? Let us know in the chat. We'll be right back with Alaska and the U.S. right after this. We are back here live at the International Challenge for round number 3 of the round-robin format, and this one's a good one. It features the team from Poland who have won 5 out of the first 6 legs against their opponents, taking on our first time seeing the hometown team of the USA. I'm Sean Green, joined by Gordon Dixon. Gordon, this has huge implications on the final results of who's going to get that top 2 spots.
Yeah, this is a big one. Would be very surprised if we saw a 3-0 either direction on this one. I'm also anxious to see the order of the Americans. They already got a glimpse into that with Ram going first. But yeah, there's a lot of things that'll be decided here. But honestly, it also takes into effect, and that's why round robin is so tough, is how many legs can we stay clean outside of these matches?
100%. Because
if one other team catches a leg, another team catches another leg, and Poland and Spain go perfect, it's it can change the face of who actually makes it to that final.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we look at the overall results so far, the U.S. is at 2 wins, but they've only played 1 match. Spain is at 4 wins. The Polish team is at 5. The Belgian team is at 1, and Denmark yet to pick up a leg. But that's the point, right? The Polish team did lose that last leg to the team from Belgium. You wonder if that might hurt at the end of the day against maybe the Spanish team, which is going to be a big matchup coming up next for the actual implications overall. If one team wins that 3-0, that might do it for the other team.
Yes, that this most likely will be decided before the 5th round of the group stage here. There may be some implications. Polish is done after round 4, but there may be some implications on how many legs maybe Spain needs to win against Denmark. But we're all we're jumping the shark a little bit on all of these.
Let's just think way ahead
scenarios. Yeah, the U.S. has to get through this one in order to put themselves in the best spot. And again, we have the Polish flag bearer.
I was just about to mention him.
Staying strong back there.
Where's our U.S. flag bearer? That's what I want to know.
Serious.
And by the way, I do want to point out that we did figure out who Camille did replace on the Polish team. It's actually his wife. His person that he's with, Eva.
Oh.
So that one was switched out there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I was going to bring that up when you said that Anna Marie was the only female. Because I knew I had seen Ava's name in there.
Well, that's a 184 team captain, Mike Porterfield.
Ooh, I forgot. Yes, got to note me.
M-E is all he wrote down for who's the team captain. He wrote me. And then did not put his name first, by the way.
Yeah.
Which did not tell me who me was.
No.
I thought me was Mike Segal based on that me because Mike was written down first. Here is George Daniels. Lights out. And they are way out in front of this Polish team in leg number 1.
Yeah, not nearly the parity that we expected to see. But again, as far as Poland's concerned, this is the leg that the United States is supposed to take.
And leg number 3 is just loser starts. There's not a rediddle or a recork. Triple 19 would have left the double 12. Triple 14 leaves 32. Well done there from Philly.
Nice setup.
Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button. Let everybody know that we are live here for the International Challenge. Polska versus U.S. As Tom, not going to do a whole lot there, but and this first player score line is kind of just playing the supporting role, which tells you just how stacked this American team really is, with Porterfield going second. And I picked them like an idiot not to make the top 2.
We all have regrets in life. Some people just have more. There it is. First leg. Mike Porterfield taking down 32.
Pretty decent 38.54 in that first leg for Mike.
Yeah, double start, split bowl, double finish. Gotta love it.
We got yoga going on in the background. As Camille's going to step up to start leg number 2. And you mentioned it. That was the leg that the U.S. was supposed to win going first. That being said, if the U.S. do lose this leg, the important thing is to go first in the last leg decider. Last leg decider of the round robin.
An interesting piece of that. It almost should have been cork third leg guaranteed. If we're talking about format, I don't mind the 3. I don't mind the double in, double out, split bowl. But that, you could literally, without doing anything, go second in 2 of the 3 legs.
By being good.
Yeah, by being good.
In one of them.
And technically, you could go second in all 3.
Yep.
If you win the first 2, the first one against the darts.
I think we actually saw that with the Poland team in the first round. I think that they did go second in all 3 of those legs. They won 3-0, so that's the only way that could be even possible.
Right.
And if you lose the double to start it, that's what that will do. Here is Wojciech, who's had a bit of an off round or 2 to start off this match against the U.S. side.
Yeah, certainly not what we had seen. George Daniels now stepping up after the perfect start from Ram.
He blew it.
You can see the smile there from George tells you that he's going to get some ribbing.
Everybody's laughing at him. People watching there are shaking their head at him. Yeah, you know they yelled hard at missing that right away. And it was probably Ram, who seems like a very quiet human being until he's playing with people that he really likes, and then he is a joker.
Philly does get away. Slack start from Porterfield put him in that situation.
Be sure that you tag someone in the chat. Let them know. International competition going on right now. We get to see players like Camille with the hot button of the Irish Leprechaun. So if you ever want to, who's ever online, now you know what to look for there. If it's because that's the cool thing about these G3 boards is that there's a lot of times where you get online and there's players from Spain that are in there wanting to play some darts, some players from all over the world. Great darts. You can see Polish side really excited about the majority of that, and Porterfield's going to have to do some work right here. Playing the cleanup role.
Yeah. Well, not getting in on the first turn is really what has made that player 4 look the way it has.
Freeze could be on here. It is not. Again, Wojciech unable to do much.
It's got to go away, though. It's got to go away, or you're hoping for player 3 to have an open turn.
Triple 18, not going to go. That being said, there's still actually some time for the player 4 spot to get it down. There's no finish yet on the Polish side. Until these 3 darts, probably. Maybe.
Well, this is going to be a big help.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's really, really big. Now Philly needs to come up here with a 140, and still not completely out of the woods. Needs a triple. He does find it. Makes it a little bit better. So no finish from 168.
Which is almost worse because that means Camille knows he can just get it low to freeze. He does not need to worry about trying to go the right route.
I think he needs to get to 80. And he's definitely done that.
Now he just needs to make sure he doesn't bust. I like tops here. I think that was the conservative way he was shooting at tops.
No, that's absolutely, yeah. Because, I mean, my mind immediately went to, like, 888, just to stay away from that treble. But yeah, inside on the double top was probably best.
And look at Ram leaving 4 instead of 2.
The shot has a lot of implications. 129. So 180 leaves 99. Would assure the shot.
You want someone that can hit 180 in a spot like this. It's Mike Porterfield. Great darts.
Absolutely stellar. What a time. And you see the reaction here. Should be double 12. $12, $14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all that work and George will steal it.
Yeah, George for double 2 hasn't looked the most confident out of all of Team USA, but buries the double 2 first dart. Take a 2-0 lead.
He gave a little woo-hoo. That was actually a big celebration for George.
Well, I think everybody kind of knows the situation. It's the Poles, Spain, and USA. And with 2-1 wins at least over the next 2 favorites, it's going to put them in good stead.
If they win this leg right here, Gordon, they will actually tie the Polish team in legs 1. And the Polish team has played 1 more match.
With a less round, yeah.
I think this USA team is going to make it through in the top 2, Gordon.
Who could have called it?
I just don't know if Spain's going to be there with them. Or is it going to be this Polish team? Tell you what, Spain losing 2-1 versus Poland maybe losing 3-0 is a huge difference.
Yes, yes.
And the Spain team has already gained an extra scoreline on the Belgian side, too. I think this is a must-win leg for the Polish team, the more I think about it.
Well, honestly, you can see the whole Polish team has had a little bit of a different demeanor in this one.
Except for the flag bearer.
Except for the black. Yeah, that man, he is committed.
Like, that would be my workout for the year. Just having to hold that above my head. Me would be a pretty cool, like, me. Like, my Porterfield. Probably has something else, though.
Put it on a shirt. I'll put it on my bracket.
It's just going to be me from this point forward.
Just me. Mike, me, Porterfield.
All right. Camille looking for his first 180. And just kisses it off into the 1-2-3. Tyler, did you just call that the Spain flag? You're adorable. So adorable. That's not even close to the same colors. As we get a 180 from Ram Kavara. Tyler, come on, man.
A quote from Joe Channing comes to mind.
Let me guess, Tyler, it was autocorrect. It went from Poland to Spain for you. Just messing with you, buddy. All right, Porterfield.
That would be aggressive if the Spanish flag holder just came up behind the USA and Poland and held the Spanish flag up.
And then all of them start coming over, and then it's a battle.
They just start shoving each other out of the way.
Then it's just a fight with flags. Just the tallest person wins, and we have Jason Watt. Lights out. I don't know if I like the look of the last start. I understand the idea of just getting as low as possible with the freeze potential, but you also don't want to leave double 7.
George don't care.
Because Ram won't care. Is there a double on the dartboard? I got it.
All right, big shot here. Oh, my.
You said it was going to be a big shot here, and it definitely was, because now no freeze option at all for Camille, no matter how great he is.
He could leave 2. Going to get a whack at it.
There's the flags for everybody that wants to know. The Spanish flag does have some red in it, but the yellow is definitely a dead giveaway. Tops for Ram. Bang is what he just says. 14 darter. And that is a huge, huge victory for the U.S. 3-0 over the team that Sam definitely would have bet on to win this event. And they have 5 legs now. The Polish team has 5 legs, but the Polish team has played one more match than the U.S. side. So the next round will let us know what's going to happen. The Polish side needs to beat Spain 3-0. So we'll see if that happens. But we're going to get the U.S.-Denmark match on our board. We'll be back with that action with more from Team USA right after this. Welcome back to the 39th annual BullShooter WCC finale live in Chicago, Illinois. This is the International Challenge round number 4. We just saw the American side defeat one of the favorites in Poland 3-0. And now they are taking on the team from Denmark. I'm Sean Green, joined by my partner in comms, Mr. Gordon Stewart. Hey, Pops. Hope you're doing well in the chat. Gordon Dixon.
What is this, ESPN? You're just going to call me the wrong name the entire freaking broadcast?
I was never going to bring
Kyle,
that
sir. My name is Kyle.
I was never going to bring that up to you, no matter how many times we were going to work together.
That guy's at least handsome enough to call me the wrong name.
Fair. He has a much better voice. Gets paid a lot of money to call you the wrong name. Oh, that's amazing. We got darts going on, Gordon.
Yeah, you know what? You know what you need to apologize for? Even more than that is doubting this USA team.
Obviously. I apologize. Home soil. Listen. If people there's a lot of people. If you polled them and said, "Do you think Sean's smart? Do you think Sean's kind of an idiot?" I feel like I'm par for the course of how people would typically feel. As long as they know I'm not a teacher.
Yeah,
because that is a bit of a bias on the actual answer.
Teaching our youth. Oh, you mean that would then tip them that
that
you were.
That I might.
No, I've been to public school. Yeah. I didn't worry about you there.
All right.
We do like each other, I promise.
Here is Jonas.
And we should mention there is a lot of implications in the match that is not being streamed. We tried to get that flipped around because there's a lot more kind of riding on that Polish Spain tangle, but unfortunately we were a little slow on the draw to get that fixed. But there's still a lot here because every time Denmark takes a leg off the U.S. in this one, it could change the direction of what that final looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Spanish team did get the bye in the previous round 3. So the way that it features right now, it's 4 wins for Spain, 5 wins for Poland, 5 wins for the U.S. Poland's done after this match. So if they want to ensure that Spain cannot come back to catch them, they got to win 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0 puts them in, right?
Yep. 2-1 keeps it interesting.
Does anyone know the playoff? If they tie, I'm assuming head-to-head is the first tiebreaker?
Yes.
I believe we just made an executive decision.
I don't think that they know that we just made that executive decision, so if they were listening, we wouldn't still be doing this. Double 10, now double 5 for Ram. And he laps it off, and it goes in, and my goodness, this American side is good.
Yeah, they're good. They're playing well right now. Exciting to see. We did have a question about how the teams were chosen. I guess we can only speak for 2 of them. Poland winning a qualifier held in Spain.
Yep.
And the American team was actually chosen off of objective point system from tour stop finishes. The details of that we'll probably refine over the years, but these are 4 of the top performing men at multiple regionals. Obviously, the more regionals you went to, the better you did at those, the more points you got. This man stepping up, Porterfield, for example, basically dominated 1.5 regionals, which got him his spot.
I actually believe that. You know what's funny is I don't know if that's her name. I'm gonna stop talking. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. The regionals and how they pick those teams, I actually don't know any of that information. So, I'm happy that you were able to kind of fill us in there.
But the rest, I think, probably knew that there was a this team. Like, for example, Denmark.
Yep.
I believe most of these players live in the U.S., maybe a couple from overseas, and then they represent their country every time they attend the tournament. I believe this man's name's Mort.
Yep, Mort.
Yep, he's here on a every year basis. I think I said earlier when we were talking about Denmark, I've been a part of this since like 2018. And I don't know of a year that Denmark was not part of the international event.
I don't know if you noticed, but the flag bearer for the Polish team, not the Spanish flag, is still behind the teams that are playing out there in the last match. If you see the side angle here from Nick, to show that, you can see that the flag bearer is right there. Holding on, holding strong. Actually, that's a different guy.
That's a different one, yeah.
Oh, he quit. What a quitter. Ram, nice 140 after the 180 from George Daniels. And that's what happens when you have that duo on the player one score line. And Anne-Marie is the team captain for Denmark. Met her on Thursday. Absolutely sweet individual. A lot of fun. And so I'm going to guess she has also been here.
Yes, she has. She's also, or I think she's based in the United States, for at least some of the year.
Okay, because I was going to say, I know that she goes home and immediately starts gathering souvenirs and knickknacks to bring back next year. This year, Darren Auckland was given a Denmark flag that was a robe.
Oh,
like almost like a boxer robe. It was pretty sweet. She wore that the first night, and then Darren and her exchange things from each other's countries every year. It's really fun. 3? Yeah, there's no reason to not just make it a typical route here. Freeze is not in play at this point.
Hunter, I would completely agree. That was very close to a Freudian slip on my part.
And only 35 there from Mort. So Billy can't take out the 162, but he can put a good dent in it. It will be Ram taking that shot at 40.
Oh, apparently I'm wrong. They literally come over every year then. Because I know Anna-Marie and Mortar here every year. And I thought we had conversations with them that they were based here, at least for a portion of the year. So we see Ram takes out the 40, 2 darts, and just like that, Team USA up 2-0.
Yeah, now they have 7 legs. And I actually believe that if they win this next one, it ensures that they would
be the number 1.
It would be 1 or 2. Like, they would be in that driver's seat. And then would probably assure that they would be number 1 if it's the Polish team that is at 8 wins. Because Poland's done, so unless US it's mollywhopped 3-0 in that last match, it should go to USA as number 1. Of course, that doesn't really matter, number 1 versus number 2 for the finals. It's not like it's... I guess they can match them up and do number 1 versus number 2, but I think they're going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how that should work. The team that gets first in the Order of merit gets you go first in the first leg.
Just leave it at bragging rights. Make them cork.
I like that too. Porterfield perfect on his in. Got to shout out that 160.
Hunter, I'm with you. State v. State. I would love to do it. Try to do it on the steel tip side. Just logistically, you'd have to be pre-register. Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about there. You do a 6-man team, 4 men, 2 women. That way you get 2 triples, 2 doubles, a women's doubles. Just have them earn points for their state across a set of events. It'd be fun.
Like, are there any players that play in Vermont? You know, like, what about some of these states that?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, would you allow multiple? Would you allow multiple? You have to make it multiple just for the tournament to be able to survive.
Nope. Just kidding. Of course, that would be completely fine. I just anything that's kind of cool like that. Represent your state. Represent your city. That's gonna be that fake account probably. All of that.
Is that the fake account? I love it. Cheers, Lisa. Glad to have you.
I think we just need to go to Denmark now then.
Oh, it's my arm. I'm in.
I'm very much in for that. Sounds amazing. Just saying, if could be us doing the broadcast live over there, but you playing, you know.
Whatever, Nick.
Yeah, you think you could swing things now, but nope, not at all. 240 left. More, almost was a Klebe dart on dart 1.
He didn't go full Joe Brooks, did he?
He did not throw a Brooksy in there. Lexi, there are 5 countries: Denmark, the U.S., Poland, Spain, and Belgium. And that country from up north did not field an entire team. They also wouldn't accept me to be a resident Canadian or Canadian for this event because they were like, we don't want to just lose that easily, which is fair. And then I said sorry, and I went back. Tops for the 160.
Oh. What a way it would have gone.
Did you see George just laughing as he walks back? They're just having a great time. They're all firing on all cylinders. The worry of, are we going to be able to pull this off together?
Yeah, playing for Team America. This is great to see. This is probably the reason that they are playing the way they are.
They are going to win?
Well, just that they're settled in.
Win? Are they going to win the whole thing?
I think it's going to take a Herculean task from Spain, who I'm going with is still my prediction,
which is
to get them.
It's a bold move, not knowing that scoreline at all. Oh, there's the name of the person who was doing that. And just having to go down because it is frozen. Do want to point out that Jonas did have that first look, and Rasmus. But George Daniel double 10, And it goes in. 3-0 victory for USA. They reach 8 legs of victory so far. The closest to them is that Poland team with 5. And so that means that Poland has to win all of them to tie up that score line. Spain and Poland now is really the battle for who is going to be that other team that makes it through into, look at Will, just high-five and all-team USA. And then he's like, oh, I just want to do something for fun. And then he comes back and posts it right away. But we'll be right back with round number 5. That last round of action is, oh, look at this.
Bonus coverage.
It looks like Spain's going to take out this leg if Zappa hits it. Zappa does not hit it. And the freeze is not on for the, oh, wait, 65 it is. But the 122 would not have been. The 65 is frozen. Cannot be taken out by Wojciech. Leaves it on 4. Like, you know what's nice is that today everyone's leaving it on 4 after we've been talking about it the whole weekend long. Do you think anyone like listened to us and did it or no?
It's 100% the reason.
That's really nice of them. And Javi takes out leg number whatever it was. But the Spain team, that's a good sign. They at least get that one. And that was against the throw. I'm going to guess this is leg number 3, and I'm going to guess that Spain's up 2-0. And is that a bold move, Cotton? Yes, it is, but we're going to see if it pays off for me.
And Spain has the best shirts.
Yeah, they do. Hands down. It's not
like,
close.
That's not even, yeah.
It's not close at all. They are. Notice how there's yellow in there, Tyler. As David Ruiz steps up. Yeah, the Spanish shirts, which we haven't had them on the live stream. We will in the next round. Taking on the U.S. side, I believe. But, yeah, which that's implications on its own, depending on how this match ends up. Because if they've won those first 2 legs, then it would be 6-5 right now in favor of Spain. And if Poland wins this one, it's 6-6. That means the U.S. would have to win 3-0 for Poland to have a shot. So if Spain gets 1 leg in that round 5, then they would move forward. That's a big if. Richard, we all can't have good taste. So, Eric, Spain-U.S. will be the next match in the bullpen. We're waiting on the conclusion of this matchup.
Bullpen for round.
Oh, that's right. That's not correct at all,
5.
Is it?
It's Spain and Denmark.
U.S. and Belgium. That's right, because Poland's on the bye. So I lied. So Spain and Denmark is that right? Did you say that right?
Yes. Spain and Denmark.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So we'll get Spain and Denmark in our bullpen for round number 5. Would have been a lot cooler if it was the other way around, though, wouldn't it? And again, that puts even more implications on the fact of if Spain's up 2-0. But Gordon, do you want to let this play out here for leg number 3 without us just sitting here guessing this whole time? While we watch the players play, and we'll keep it on this for the people that are watching along, and we'll be back with that bullpen match in round number 5, where we will have updates on what the implications are, if there are any, to play for at that point in time. Sean Green, Gordon Dixon stepping aside with this live coverage from Chicago, Illinois, the International Challenge.
Welcome back. We are in Chicago. We're following along with the international event this morning. We've got Spain taking on Denmark. Spain already confirmed into the finals, taking on the United States. Best of 5 match, so this is should be a relaxed affair between these two. I'm joined in the booth now by Will.
Hey,
The man Stewart.
you're in sweet home Chicago. Yeah, looking forward to this one. The Spanish team, man, we knew going into this they were going to be good, but we kind of eyeballed that Polish team as the one to make the run, and in that last round, they stomped on the gas and got her done, and I think that's why they're going to end up in that final. So, yeah, this one already settled, but we got to finish that round robin bracket, don't we?
Yeah. Sometimes in round robin, there's a little bit of a lull. The bigger the bracket, the less you can kind of keep track of all the results.
Mm-hmm.
So I know some of the regionals on the steel tip side run this way, but yeah, it'll be nice to see how Spain does, just kind of relaxed in this setting, and also a big opportunity for Denmark to maybe take a couple of legs in a match.
You know, actually, this gentleman here, he was one that I saw at the beginning of Friday, and he actually came up to me and, "You in here?" And I said, "No, she's not here, but you got to settle with me." He's like, "That's fine. That's fine." And so I was actually kind of confused because they recognized, you know, the correlation between USA Darts and seeing the face and whatnot. But yeah, it just kind of shows you that they're watching. No matter where you're at, they're watching. It's an international affair here.
That's true too. Yeah, no, it's awesome to see. And we were corrected. The Denmark team literally comes every year. I thought a couple of them were actually based here, but yeah, that gives, it does give an international feel to this tournament, which is awesome.
I found it actually kind of interesting. A couple of them, this is their first trip over to the States. I said, "Well, did you guys make time to do anything?" "No, we got to go back." I said, "Boys, you should have planned this out a little bit better."
Yeah, I did Asia a couple of times that way, where you just kind of show up, take a train to the hotel that you stay in the entire weekend, and then go home. I did that once. I shouldn't say a couple of times. After one of those, you figure out, you gotta spend some time,
especially that area. I heard that's just a remarkable place to go play, Hong Kong and whatnot. But that's on the dream list. We'll make it happen sometime. Well, Denmark. This third player score line needs some help, don't it?
Yeah, this one lingering back behind. Been kind of a soft spot for Denmark the entire time. Spain, though, still lingering as well. Massanu, who we've seen on the stream multiple times this weekend so far.
Larry asking, "Did you guys ever get your pizza?" We got some pizza, not deep dish pizza. We got to get the proper lineup here soon.
Bob, always a pleasure. And it was not frozen. Denmark takes the first leg with a 1-3-1 checkout.
That's a incredible check there, and especially I was just saying that player 3 scoreline needs some help, but that advantage on the start gets it done with the 1-3-1. What a check!
Well, we talked about an opportunity for Denmark to steal a leg or two.
There you go.
Catch him sleeping.
They pickpocketed that one.
They did. They did.
Does look like our super shoot is coming up to a finals position here. We got Don Stewart, Ryan Farrell, and Chris Lim left in that bad boy.
Yeah, Chris Lim with the king seat, waiting on the winner of Don Stewart and Ryan Farrell. Don Stewart just taken out Lieutenant Dan and Mike Maloney. You ain't got no leg.
Ice cream. That's got to be. It just always hits, man. You can always put it on and just guaranteed you're going to get a couple chuckles.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And then you start listening to the soundtrack. The soundtrack's amazing.
It is. It's one of those bangers. Those secret bangers that you need to put on your Spotify playlist. Well, last night, this gentleman was pretty much clutch throughout the evening. Unfortunately, coming in the finals, taking that second place position. But man, what a run!
Yeah, Javi's been playing well the entire time. In fact, the first time we saw him in the Monsters of Midway, he was a little suspect. But I tell you what, after that Thursday event, every time he's graced our screens, he's hitting big triples and getting to finishes in some really big moments. It's another one of those Spanish players as well.
Gosh, he looks so familiar. Have we? Yeah.
Yeah, he plays in this event every year, so he's definitely been on stream.
I thought I've seen him on like a world stage before, but I'm probably mistaken there. I know I've recognized David. I mean, David I've seen at NDA a few times, and of course,
he plays some of the WDF stuff too,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
he?
exactly. Some of those WDF events he participates in. He's made some good runs there. Good player.
Just a bit outside there with the last. Here comes Zappa.
I'm really looking forward to transitioning over to the World Cup of Darts and seeing him involved for Team Spain. That's going to be really cool just to see how he transitions to that steel tip side.
I'm looking forward to that event. I don't know who's going to match those two English fellas.
The answer's nobody.
That's going to be a handful.
The answer's nobody. I think that's just pretty much set in stone already who's getting the title in this year's, but could go south. Could go south.
Yeah, I'm a bully boy fan. But yeah, you just those two are gonna be tough team to beat.
Mm-hmm. Team Luke, not Team England. Team Luke is what it's called.
Yep. Got the big Danish player here. Oh, just slides into trouble one.
Hey, give this to the Spaniards early here. Puts this in the neighboring bed. Yep, there you go.
And who can take it out in 6? And it looks like the Spaniards are going to be able to do that. But outside chance, we saw the big 1-3-1 finish in the first leg. Never quite out of it.
Kind of helpful hand David can be here. He may just take it all the way down. He will. Big 180 to leave 4.
Yeah, what a shot. So no outside chances really for Denmark in this one. No pressure on the 85.
May very well just take it, though. 45 for tops.
13. No, treble 19, double 11. There it is. Zappa. Taking down the 85.
Sounds like you're a 39 guy there, huh? 39
Yeah.
for tops.
Yeah, well, especially in that spot where it really didn't matter if he brought it all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to change my thinking a little bit. I just don't call enough freeze rule to keep that in mind. But when you got to get it down, getting to 4 or 8 is a better shot than.
That's my biggest hindrance. It's not that I don't commentate freeze rule; it's that I don't play freeze rule at all, and that's really difficult on me. Is to wrap my mind around that rather than the normal thought process. So, I'm a fan of 57, 22 there. That's just always been my 79 route. I know it's kind of like not the best to leave on the old 22, but I like the trip 19.
Well, it's funny. I can't really say that I wouldn't be a 22 guy, just because if you ask me, like, I wish where the 11 and the 6 were is 32 and 40.
You're dang right.
Because up
right
and
there.
down,
Yeah.
up and down is a beautiful, beautiful shot. But yeah, I do find myself at the double 6 a lot more than I do the double 11.
Danny, let me know. That's why you should let Gordon continue continue commentating freeze roll. Well, maybe Danny. Shouldn't you be like working out or something? You got like you're like down 100 pounds now, Danny. You're like a toothpick these days.
Good last there, gets him in.
Oh, that's a solid collection. Especially with that player 2 unable to get in his last round.
Steady 108.
It's a good follow-up.
Massanu now just trying to bring it down. Just a reminder, this is the last round of the round robin.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be headed into our finals. It is set. We'll see the United States take on Team Spain. Best out of 5.
And really, big shout out to these players, man. This has just gone ultra fast. This has been smooth sailing since the start.
Yeah, wrangling 8 people to a match as quickly as they have each time for 5 rounds.
No easy task.
No. That in and of itself has been impressive. Don Stewart just keeping an eye on the 13-inch.
Just clone yourself.
Going on as well. No, strike that. One apiece. One apiece in that third place match. I apologize. I looked over just in time to see Nick spritzing himself with some Febreze.
So what are you doing, buddy? That's not Axe body spray. That's something else.
I try to keep up with the trends with the kids, but
What's
munching on Tide Pods and Febrezing on himself, I can't get down.
squiggly or what some of those hip new words that you guys come up with? Yeah, squiggly or something. Squeeby or something. I don't know. Skibbity, yeah, skibbity. That new age verbiage. Oh.
Locked up one apiece here. Playing for pride.
Yeah, I mean, not the turn he wanted, only 43 on the board, but you're really kind of circling player 1 saying, hey, get this done here.
Good start.
Real pressure to take this out, but it would be nice.
Yeah, good setup.
It gives him the option when he returns, 18 for 32, 10 for tops, 14 route. Tom Sawyer's the one that always taught me. He goes, how do you go at 50? And I said, usually 10 tops. He goes, you know what I like? I go, what? 14. Why? Because 42 leaves 8 and 14 leaves 36. They're right next to each other. I said, ooh, Eddie liked that one. That's a good route to go. That's a good one. Underutilized, I think. I'd like to see some people do that.
If you're Royden Lamb, you just pop the bullseye.
Right?
You put your shades on.
And go for it.
And pull the ripcord.
All right, here we go. 10 or 18. He chases the 10 route. Tops for the win. There you go. 2-1 scoreline for Team Spain as they will advance. Well, they already knew they were advancing to the finals, but it'll be Team Spain versus Team USA next here in our International Challenge Finals. Don't go anywhere, folks. William Stewart, Gordon Dixon on the mic there. Appreciate it, Gordon, for tag team in there. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the moment we've been waiting for in this international challenge, it is finals time. We have España taking on the United States of America. I'm Sean Green, joined by Gordon Dixon. Gordon, this is what you picked from the start of the two teams that we're going to battle out here. And I think it's going to be a heck of a battle if Spain brings their A game and if the U.S. continues to play like we've seen so far.
Well, the USA team needs to keep joking around and having fun.
Yep.
Because we clearly saw that the level that they were playing at when that was the case. Because if these guys tighten up, this is going to be a battle. Right now, everybody off and away.
But the U.S. is off and away in perfect form. Both player 2 and player 4, a 160 in.
Big shot. Gotta call out the 160 opens.
Troy Leroy is making a decent point. If you think about just like on paper here, not Leonard on the team, not Mike Maloney, which is he calls him Mick. Ram, it makes sense. But I'm telling you right now, Troy, you're about to see 4 players. These 4 players for the Team USA are definitely earned that spot. You've seen a couple of them in the CSC, Troy, including Philly Mike Segal, champion this season of Division II.
Yeah, and you also have to remember that this is affiliated with a regional tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were multiple stops leading into this, so obviously the players supporting and performing well in those are the way that that we got here. And I suspect that there's probably going to be some published objective criteria, point system kind of created for this team going forward. It has been very much a subjective, hey, we want to invite this guy and that guy previously, but I think it's trying to put some more numbers around it.
Well, and that being said, also, I know at least a couple of these gentlemen went to multiple regional tour stops and played extremely well, winning multiple regional tour stops, like Mike Porterfield, who I know was in the Pennsylvania regional and also up in Western New York. So it makes sense. And listen, not only that, these guys are good.
Yeah, there's never going to be any lack of talent. And look at this from Porterfield. Trying to get to 24.
He's on automatic right now.
Yeah, there's a really good pace to his throw. Billy doing well on that player 4 score. Player 2 needs to pick it up a little bit.
I like Javi's route there, especially the last start, because even if he hits the trip 19 there, which he was shooting at, he was fine leaving 2. And it's because George, man, if you're George and Ram and you freeze, this Mike and, oh, you're going to hear about that for,
it's absolutely possible.
This is on for.
Can take this out or get to 60 and not give a finish to Mike Porterfield. It's not going to happen to the first 2. And now all kinds of options here. Can even freeze back by leaving 7 or less. He's going to have an eye on the prize.
Hey, that's a great route.
Get this out. Perfect for the situation. 2 darts it.
And nobody misses double 4.
Nobody misses double 4.
They just had 2 players on that second score line average well over 45, or average of 45.5, which is insanity.
Yeah.
Well,
player 4 taking out a match in this format is actually pretty unique.
It is a race to 3, best of 5 in the final here for this international challenge. So the U.S. 2 legs away. And we haven't seen them lose a leg, right? They lost.
They
one to
lost
the
one, but
Spanish
it was
team.
off camera.
Yep. And well, perfection is achieved again from Ram Guevara and from Houston, Texas. That's the other great thing here. We got 2 players from Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania area with Porterfield and Philly. And then you have Houston, Texas, and George Daniel from the Tri-City area, right, of that Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Ohio, Indiana corner. Here is Javi Moreno. Javi shot great last night, getting second place in the finals of the AAA Pro Luck.
Yeah, I think I said earlier, maybe it was with Will, he was a little suspect in the Monsters of the Midway event. But ever since then, every time we've seen him on the feed, he has been producing.
George is wondering where that third one was going. It landed in the 20, but was an inch above the treble.
Yeah, wasn't convincing, especially not for what we've come to expect out of George. But the damage was already done. The 2 trebles were already in the board.
Well, Josep Armani, an 83 scored there for him.
Is Massino
That's
a
him.
nickname?
Yep. Either that or I misread the entire situation. Here's Peter Gibbons, a.k.a. David Ruiz.
He's got plenty of flair on the shirt today.
He does. He's wearing quite a few pieces of flair. I think that would work.
Double 19.
I just love how they just want to be perfect, right? Like, it's not that they're just having fun being perfect right now. And if it's not going in the triple, they're wondering what just happened. And here is Daniel Zapata. Zapata is playing for the Spain World Cup team for the PDC in a few weeks, taking place in Germany. Congratulations to him on that accomplishment of earning the right to represent his country a few times, or a couple times in a few weeks. That's really cool.
Javi trying to work it up into that trouble. He does with the third.
I like the trip 18 double 4 route.
Yeah, George just taking the eye off the prize a little bit there. Interesting third. Not a whole lot harmed.
Yeah, double 14 could be a lot worse. But there could be a lot more worse options. Is the freeze going to be a factor that might come in here? I think that last start might have stopped that from possibly happening.
Yeah, we'd have to have a pretty big fail here from Philly. Looks like he's going to rectify it. That's probably good enough. It definitely is good enough. Even a 180 only leaves David 60.
And David, it's the big 140 just in case, but you gotta really dodge a ram shot, and that's not going to happen. Double 14 goes in for Screwston with those 9-gram barrels, and he is up 2-0 for Team USA in this race to 3. Can España get back in this?
Yeah, 9 grams is bonkers.
Yeah. And have you ever thrown? You need to throw them once because they don't feel like 9 grams.
I threw him at the Houston Regional.
They feel really balanced. right?
No, it's a really it's a good feeling dart. And obviously for an all-day tournament, I mean, it's literally less than half of what some of these guys are throwing. I also like the idea that it kind of makes you throw them. Like you're not floating a 9-gram dart.
You can't
throw it through the ceiling if you try to.
Just flutters halfway there and just drops.
Porterfield does not get in that player 4 spot.
That's how Spain can get back in this without being special. But I think they're going to have to be. That scoreline, that top scoreline of George and Ram have been perfect through the first 5 darts in both legs so far. Not that case here, but we're talking about a powerful duo. Do you think they just literally made those stacked scores because it was Mike and Mike on the other scoreline? Like, we have the same name. Let's just play on the same score.
It may be regional as well because they're both from Pennsylvania.
I like my theory more, to be honest with you.
Hey, listen, dart players have come up with crazier ways to pair off than that. So certainly a possibility.
See if Philly can make up for it. That was halfway there. Does get in, but definitely advantage Spain.
This could be a big turn for the Spanish team.
96 just doesn't seem like it's enough right now. That being said, 180 from Ram incoming. Oh, unlucky on dart 2. But could have been a 180. But it wasn't.
Yeah, certainly a good shot there. I'm expecting a 180 out of Mike to bring down that player 4 score. I don't think it's going to be enough to get him out of jail, but he just seems to respond every time Team USA needs him, and or he's kind of started to come off the boil a little bit. Oh, and it's not going to happen.
It was the or.
Yeah. The blunder from the second and fourth players on the U.S. team.
And Hobby leaves a finish, but it's a big one.
Yeah.
The wicked tuna.
George already frozen after 4 rounds. No option to take it out.
And here is Masno. Josep. Not going to be able to take out the checkout here, but teed up nicely. Very nicely.
I don't like that.
Not at all.
I don't like that at all.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, it's a good dart, but it puts you in a really goofy spot for no reason.
Yeah, and I think there's like, whatever, you can hit whatever. Like,
well, and honestly, they're gonna get multiple whacks at it, if they need them.
He's like, you're Zappa. Like, what? Double 1, you got that. Ram should just take out the 108 in front of him.
Yeah, now this man should run it down to 4.
Run a Kenny Doyle.
Yep. All right, now, if in the next 15 darts, player 4 can get a shot, they can win this 3-0.
It's not in yet. Uh-oh. That's why we don't like what Masno did.
Exactly why we don't like it.
It was cool that he hit the double, but it was not a good scenario for that. Not going to get it. You think he just eased up in his like focus up 2-0 and kind of rolling?
I don't see Porterfield give in on legs very often, but that's what this really had the feel of, at least with that shot. And they're
You're
really
saying there's a chance.
really going to be kicking themselves now. They just need to fade 15 more darts again. No doubt.
15 more times.
No doubt Zappa told him, hey, you got us into this mess.
And he does get him out of the
get
madhouse.
us out.
2-1 score line.
All right. 2-1 USA. Race to 3. The money shot here. USA with the darts to take it home.
Ram gets in, but that's kind of a slack visit. You see the deep breath from Ruiz. And, yep, there. It's 2-1 score line now in favor of the USA. But if you're España, you think you have a shot here.
Well, yeah, I mean, they'll want to clean up that finishing a little bit there at the back end. But you see what it means to Mike Porterfield. Off and running.
Slack last leg. He's going to want to make sure that it's just a slack last leg and not a slack few legs here. And so I think that's a little bit of relief more than anything else. Zappa only gets in on dart 3. That's a gift for George and Ram, who didn't do very well getting in their round. But George's going to George. 85. Frustrating after the first start.
Yeah, he would have been expecting to fill it up. Nino. Javi stepping up here. He's got a whack at the 180.
Said he's going to count it on up. 1, 2, 3. Give a little Elvis.
Yeah, he did.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hound dog.
Oh, that is very nice from Philly. And Mike and Mike stepping up for Team USA here in this this fourth leg, potential last leg of the match in the International Challenge. Some idiot sitting here didn't even have them in the top 2.
The eventual winner.
Potentially.
Eventual.
There's such things as commentators' curses, and
Yeah, I'm not.
you're gambling with that one right now.
No, I'm playing fast and loose with my words. I fully admit it.
My favorite phrases ever is, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Great shot there. First to a finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he sure is.
Got a little defense. A little defense here with Porterfield. Getting down to 200.
Zappa 180. Yes, sir.
There it is.
Danny Zapata shows up. Sorry, it's Danny Zapanta. I know how to actually pronounce things. This goes to the last leg decider. Anything can happen. Will they diddle for cork in the last leg? They would have to, right?
Yeah, I think they have to.
I don't have to. It's the right thing, but for both of us to say. I kind of teed that up for you to just agree with me. It's on. Double 18. You know, Javi did the same exact motion you did.
He did. Or I did.
Yeah. Edie is playing Chris Lim right now in the 13-inch finals, and Edie just won the first set. He's going for the double dip now.
Look at that. 180. No
Mike and
finish for 181, but lots of implications now with this shot. Ram going to step up with a shot at 91.
Yes, he will.
And if he can get to 37 or less, he will freeze. But that's not what's going to be on his mind to begin with here.
2 darts. And there you go. USA wins the International Challenge, Gordon. And the hometown crew defeats España, who are phenomenally talented and a great foursome. 3-1 in that final.
Yeah, it's got to be said, everybody contributed there. Big shot from Philly to add the pressure. Him and Mike took out the first leg.
Yep.
Ram and George getting the second, and then of course Ram polishing it off right there. These guys played extremely well, extremely loose. Great to see.
Look at that thing coming on in there. There's the International Challenge Trophy that will be presented to Team USA, our champions, as we step aside here real quick. But congratulations once again to Mike Segal, George Daniels, Mike Porterfield, and Ram Guevara Jr. for winning the International Challenge today. We're going to still bring you some more action your way, depending on the situations that we're dealing with here. So stay with us. We will let you know the update there as you get this view of this great little celebration.
All right, here we go. This is 1-1 in our Super Shoot finals here as Ryan's taking on Chris Lim. So just wanted to give you a little update here as these guys are battling out in the double dip set right now. So we're going to decide a winner here in just a moment. Who's it going to be? I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, do some tidy work to give you the best angle we can possibly give for this matchup. big time darts, and what an interesting ending to that one. Oh my
Dinner's on Lim.
goodness. Big win for Chris Lim as he takes the title in the 13-inch super shoot here at the BullShooter in Chicago. Wow, what a win for Mr. Lim. Your king seat holder, he did go to that second set. Made it interesting, but capitalized to take the win over Ryan Farrell. Ryan's going to take home a little bit of money, too. He's getting $1,500 his way, so not bad. $3K, though, for Chris. So if you got some expenses, go ask Chris for $1. He may give it to you. You never know. But all right, hang tight, folks. We'll see what we've got coming your way here next. We'll get with Nicholas and see what he wants us to do here. So give us one moment. We'll be right back. Alrighty, just there we go. Music works now. Okay, just confirming with our staff and whatnot. We will go ahead and shut the stream off and come back for our trips coverage tonight. It's going to be a long evening for us, no doubt, for that bracket. So thanks for watching our International Challenge coverage, as well as a little bit of that super shoot, as we'll be back later on tonight. Look for the stream around 4 o'clock Central Time is when we'll get underway. Thanks for watching, folks. We appreciate it. William Stewart, Sean Green, Nick Teixeira, and Gordon Dixon. We'll be back here in a little bit. See ya.